I didn't know that the person I trusted the most would become the reason I questioned everything about my life. I remember the first time I met him. Not in some fancy place, not through friends, just a small coffee shop downtown. He was reading a book, scribbling notes. There was something about his focus, something about the way he smiled just when he thought nobody was watching. We started talking. Small things at first. Coffee orders, favorite books, music. He listened. Really listened. Soon, those talks became daily meetings, daily texts, daily "how's your day" messages. It felt like a story I had always dreamed of, a story where someone finally cared, really cared. Months passed. I started planning my future with him in mind. Little dinners, movie nights, shared playlists. Everything seemed perfect. Then, subtle signs started. Late replies, avoiding calls. His smiles, which once lit up the room, became mechanical. I ignored them. Told myself I was imagining things. Then came the first lie. A simple one about where he had been that night. I hesitated, but I let it slide. Then came the second, and the third. By the time I realized, I had already fallen too deep to stop. I confronted him one evening. I asked straight, "Why do I feel like you're hiding something from me?" He laughed softly. "That's just your imagination. I care about you." But something in his eyes told me otherwise. The nights became colder. Our messages became shorter. And the trust I had built started cracking. Then one day, I found it. A message on his phone, accidentally left open on the counter. My heart skipped. Skipped again. Skipped for the third time. The words were not meant for me. They were from another girl. And what they said made my world tilt. He was not just hiding something. He had built a whole life of lies. I wanted to scream. I wanted to leave. I wanted to disappear. But I stayed, for reasons I didn't understand. Days passed. I became obsessed. Obsessed with finding out why. Why would someone I trusted so deeply betray me so completely? Then came the call, a number I didn't recognize. He didn't answer. I left a message, shaking. I just said, "I know everything." The silence that followed was worse than any confrontation. Then, he appeared the next day, smiling, acting like nothing had happened. "I can explain," he said. I didn't know if I wanted to hear it. He stood there smiling like nothing had happened. I couldn't look at him. My hands shook. My mind raced. "Why?" I finally whispered. "Why would you do this? Why lie to me?" He sighed. "Listen, I didn't want you to find out like this." I laughed bitterly. "Like this? What is like this? Pretending, cheating, betraying? You call that care?" He paused. Then, surprisingly, he told me the truth. Not the whole truth, just enough to twist the knife. "I was trying to protect you," he said. "Protect me?" I echoed. "From what?" He explained that he had a past I never knew about, a past full of mistakes, a past that could ruin everything if it came out. He claimed he hid it, not to hurt me, but to keep me safe. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to forgive him. But every word felt like another layer of deception. That night, I couldn't sleep. Images of his smile, his lies, the other girl, all collided inside my head. Then I started digging. Just a little. Nothing crazy. Just enough to check if he was telling the truth. What I found broke me again. He wasn't telling the full story. Not even close. There were multiple accounts, multiple lies, multiple women. Everything he said about protection was a cover-up. I felt trapped. Trapped by my feelings. Trapped by the memories. trapped by the betrayal. I confronted him the next day. Not with anger this time, with cold clarity. "Tell me everything," I said. "No lies." His eyes flickered. For the first time, I saw fear. Not fear of me, fear of being exposed. He spilled everything. The jobs he had lied about, the meetings he never attended, the promises he never kept. All the ways he manipulated not just me, but everyone around him. I listened. Every word cut through me. But I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just understood. Because the truth hit me harder than his lies ever could. I realized that this wasn't just about him. It was about me. About what I allowed. About the trust I gave too freely. I had a choice. Walk away, broken, or rise above. I chose the second. I packed my things that night. Every memory, every gift, every note. I kept some. I burned the rest. And as I left, I felt something I hadn't felt in weeks. Relief. The next day, he called. Panicked. Apologetic. Trying to explain again. I didn't answer. I knew his words were worthless now. Then, the unexpected happened. A mutual friend, someone I never suspected, reached out. Said, "You need to know the whole story." Turns out, his betrayal was part of a much bigger web. Not just personal, business, family, manipulation, lies spanning years. The pieces fit together like a puzzle I never wanted to solve. I sat there, staring at the message from my friend. A warning, a confession, a piece of the puzzle I never expected. It turned out, everything he did was connected. Not just his lies, not just his cheating, but a network of manipulation I couldn't even imagine. Contracts he falsified, secrets he stole from family and business circles, manipulations that affected everyone around him, including me. And the worst part? I realized I had been used as a pawn, a shield for his mistakes. I felt anger, rage, a storm building inside me. But then, clarity hit. I could lash out. I could ruin him. I could expose everything publicly. Or I could rise. Rise above the chaos. Rise above his lies. I chose the second. I hired a lawyer. I gathered proof. Everything he had tried to hide, I uncovered quietly, carefully. Meanwhile, he kept calling, begging, threatening, apologizing. But I didn't answer. I stayed silent. Weeks passed. The court case began. The truth came out piece by piece. His manipulation, his lies, his betrayal, all exposed. The courtroom was tense. He looked around, finally realizing he couldn't escape. The lies, the betrayal, the karma he thought he controlled had caught up. And then, the verdict. Not just legal, but personal. The exposure of all he had done left him with nothing, while I walked away with my dignity intact. I realized something in that moment. It wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about proving him wrong. It was about proving myself right. I rebuilt my life slowly, every day, one step at a time. I focused on my work, my passions, my friends who truly mattered. I learned to trust again, carefully, to love again, wisely, and to listen to my own instincts instead of letting others' actions define me. Months later, I saw him one last time. Not angry, not bitter, just a shadow of the person who had once tried to destroy my world. I smiled. Not for him, for me, because I survived. I thrived. I finally understood. Karma doesn't come immediately. It doesn't need your intervention. It works silently. But when it does, it leaves no doubt. I had nothing when she left me. I had nothing when he betrayed me. I had nothing when my world seemed to collapse. But everything I needed, came when I refused to quit. The end. Moral of the story: life doesn't punish you for betrayal or loss. It tests your resilience. It rewards those who endure, rise above, and refuse to let others define their worth. Karma is silent, but it's inevitable. And the moment you stop giving up, your story truly begins. Translation Crow.